insane to predict.
Call it the group of doubt, I think, because you don't know what you're going to get from these teams. But finally, we're getting this Harbor Viper from Loud, and we actually saw Team Liquid face NRG's Harbor Viper at Tokyo, and they did okay, but ended up losing on this specific map.
We'll see how they do here. It's been so highly anticipated. So many conversations around why move away from composition like this. We'll see what the defense can do.
What is this? What is this? They're pushing back through Garage after taking C.
But they've left Nat. And they have no idea he's here.
I mean, the mind games are going crazy right now. They're going around the world back towards A, from C to A.
What a good start already.
There's nobody there either.
Nat's not able to find any value. Les cleans him up.
They've given him time to reset here. Ospas is already back in time to spot this hit coming in.
Tui's is coming through as well. He has 2 cascades he can still play with, but they've lost the sight. Try to save this for retake utility. Spike goes down. Liquid in control.
And the thing is, they still have 2 cascades here to really deal with, and they also had that Viper Orb on site. So while it looks like there's no util from Loud, there is plenty to cut up the space.
Now the second one went right over the first. You see the paranoia coming out from Liquid to try to buy some time. Redgar repositioning, playing up close. Nothing but a classic, nothing but damage found. But Loud on the counter punch. Get the pistol.
That was Kaunzine getting that while stunned, crouch walking all the way through. It was a good attempt from Yampi. But yeah, just giving way too much time there, taking too long to actually execute on that around the world strat, which I thought was quite nice. And then losing Nats as well.
1 enemy remaining.
Very difficult to get anything done in that situation after the fact. And you're already seeing the power of the Harbor Viper, how much sustainability you have when it comes to retakes.
I think you're also seeing, you alluded to this at the beginning of the first round, if this is what we're in for, if that's just the pistol and you've got cheeky strats like that that you haven't really seen before.
Yeah, we typically don't see stuff like that from Team Liquid. They're a lot more of a standard bread and butter team. See if it continues outside of the pistol. I don't expect it to.
I think Safe was able to fully grab that. Yeah, the orb is gone. He was able to grab it. Seemed like he was getting spammed through the smoke initially. Maybe dissuaded, but objective found. Repositioning, Sadak just narrowly keeps his life. Safe goes double dipping, manages to stay alive, but not much more.
A pretty risky peak for Sadak to continue to take, given that his Viper wall needs to stay up for that C-hole.
Shadows traveling.
A little bit of Killjoy utility towards B, and you're starting to see Loud congregate on that site. 3 here now facing it, and the cascade to boot.
I think Team Liquid is already displaying a very good understanding about how this composition plays and where you can start to take advantages and cause doubt in the head of Tui's, for example, who has to be really proactive with this Harbor util. Right there, breaking the alarm bot, breaking a molly as well.
30 seconds left.
That's conditioning that's going to last throughout the rest of the game.
And again, we see some little trickeration, if you will. Look at where Redgar is. Gets behind the smoke, gets crossed. They know he's there. Meanwhile, the rest of Liquid focused on B. And he's going to get back out. 13 seconds left, the spike planted. Where do they go from here? You see that paranoia. They're going to try to scale up behind it. But Soulcast dropped. Tui's on the swing. Yampi's making a run at this. 2 big kills, but numbers still in favor of Loud. You've got Les, who's going to be on the flank, and well, that flank was dealt with. He was the weaker of the options, though. Safe gets another with the Marshall. It's all into Tui's. The first is good, the second follows. A 3K for Loud.
That was a crazy round. So many duels happened until that 20-second mark when they finally hit that B site, and everybody was damaged up. For it to last until the entire spike duration as well is crazy. I think Safe did a fantastic job getting this round into a winnable spot, but ends up over-fighting to get Redgar some help. And that's going to hurt because you definitely thought there was an opportunity, but they do a lot of damage to Loud. So overall should feel like a successful eco round from Liquid.
Yeah, 1000%. You see it on your screen. A Vandal for Les, a Guardian for Sadak, and that's it.
A little bit of a different Viper wall coming out here from Sadak on defense. Goes all the way in towards B rather than covering the front of Garage, but kind of does the same thing for C. This is because have their Killjoy playing in front, trying to get all that information.
Really nice timing on the wall from 2E's too.
Yeah, you can tell they're really interested on denying that KJ util from going down. You saw Safe be really interested on trying to take down that turret. You saw on the eco round them breaking the util on beat.
I mean, even now, Safe is looking for that alarm bot. The ping is there. Sadok's going to be, once again, the first to try to keep them back from clearing that utility.
Oh, and Sadok does go down too, so that Viper wall's gone, and the alarm bot, that spreads less really, really thinly.
Yeah, he went down to Yampi too, in a position where Safe was clearing out the alarm bot. That angle's insane. I wonder.
That Viper wall's giving so much room for Safe to actually break that.
Yeah. Let's see if we take a look at it in the replay.
Look at the stack, though, from Loud. They're still making the right call. Despite losing all of that, Les is just re-peeking B right now, getting a lot of information. Now that they hear the Trailblazer, there's a double stack up short.
That wall's going to give a little bit of space for them to come out. And Safe goes up top, but 2E's takes him right back down.
And look at this ball. This is crazy. How do you go through now?
Well,
no
I mean,
more flashes.
You have a little bit of space to play it, but they've invested the Seekers. There's the flash, and there's the pounce. Ducking in and out from front and behind the wall. Just a few seconds left now, and the spike is not in hand. The members of Liquid are weak. But Soulcast is making a run at it. Les is left alone. The flash is there. The second, but Les with the 3K. And Soulcast with the perhaps ill-advised peek.
He's fumbling his keyboard there. He pulled out the flash, pulled out his gun, pulled out his flash. I'm baffled by that decision. He also had 2 flashes while that wall I was talking about. I looked at Yampi's flashes and thought they had no way through. But it took so long for Soulcast to actually get involved there. And now that hurts because they did so much damage on that eco round. They should have had, 80% chance of winning that anti-bonus. Now they've allowed the streak from Loud to come through. Still a dangerous one, though. Knives out for Safe. And there's Guardians bought up. This is a force up from Team Liquid right now.
3 pushing towards A and just 2 from the defensive side. Trying to keep them back. That flash not getting a ton of info.
A major risk for Liquid to go for this purchase. But you've seen them work with the low econ in the prior eco round that they had. This one, full force up, is not something Loud might be expecting. Maybe just the Safe knives.
Well, we didn't really touch on this. Aspas has an op. And there you see, I mean, you look at it on the minimap right now, you see how dynamic these harbor walls can be, but they're already ahead of it. Aspas is going to get challenged. Opshot misses. Fault line at his feet. He has to dash away. Paranoia is not going to help us. Safe has already gotten backside. He's already gotten down into hell, and he's hunting for more. It was just Kawanzin who was still on the site. How do you funnel back into this? I don't think a flood is an option. You still have an op in hand.
Yeah, if you want to flood, you need that 2E's harbor to be up at this point.
That's just not the case. So Loud go fishing, maybe gifted a free one. But there's just no entry. There's no way through. Liquid have drawn a line from this site. And between the flashes, you see the mollies, you see the fault line. The dump of utility keeps Loud back.
I was surprised they stayed for as long as they did. They really wanted to do some econ damage here. Because Team Liquid has just found them a way back. Here comes Les, hold on. This is kind of a spammable wall. He's not going to go for anything. Just looking for somebody to overstay, overpush, something like that. But that risk from Team Liquid paying off in huge numbers.
I mean, that's a perfect scenario for them, really. They managed to not lose any weapons, get the spike down, win the round. That's perfect.
Yep. And Soulcast with 2 kills. I mean, redemption after that last round. 2 kills through the smoke.
Yep.
And the key ones, too. They needed to get those 2 players who got flashed by Redgar down on the site. If they didn't manage to do that, all of a sudden we have an entrenched position that Aspas can re-peek into.
Operator still in the hands of the Star for Loud. There's a little challenge. But not much more. Meanwhile, you look at the other side of the map, and Sadok has already taken so much space down too long. Redgar's there on the challenge, and he wins that duel out.
And that's 2 very storied and accomplished IGLs going after each other. Whereas individually at Tokyo, both of them had some very rough performances. So to see them taking the duel at each other, it's very interesting.
I wonder how much here Liquid assumed that there's nothing else behind this push from Sadok. It seems like they're convinced in their ability to get through. Les is close by. Kawanzin is too. Safe pushing forward out onto the side by himself. The paranoia towards garage as Safe has gotten back sight. Loud seemed to wait. You've got the reckoning to play around in the flash from up top. The dash out from Aspa still has an op in hand. How does he find any value? Kawanzin peeking from behind the walls. Redgar's already gotten 3. Tui's on the swing, on the kill for Edgar, looking for the second. He's patient, he's calm with it.
Great movement there from Tui's. Now they're gonna have to play this against the 2 players entrenched down low. This is such a tough spot.
There's a code for Tui's. He goes up top. Safe gets aggressive, tries to take the space. Aspa's dashing forward, Nat's on the trade.
Where's the defuse
But it's
bar?
just a delay. It's just bait. As Tui sticks the defuse.
Where's the plant there, though? It's so far to the right. You almost have no choice there if you're Team Liquid.
And I wonder if that's why Safe went out. Because it seemed like the timing on his updraft to try to get an angle and vision on what's going on seemed a little bit off, and maybe that's why.
And the interesting part there is those pulses by the reckoning from Tui's were actually hitting his own teammates. Too close to the Team Liquid players. And that is we don't get that kind of insight from a coach on those replays very often, but
nope.
Calm's not being in the state that he believes they should.
Concerning seeds for Liquid.
To me, that's a time that you need to just take a timeout.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps they do if this one goes sideways too. Look at that wall from Kawanzin, bro. I mean, it's just the side going down a long.
Really good reclear.
It's Tui's, excuse me, but Les getting the kill onto Yampi. Went up a
Spike
little bit
down
too
mid.
far.
Yeah, they're starting to win their way as well with all this control that they've been doing a great job at.
Dude, that smoke is crazy. But Aspas goes up top, cleans up Redguard, the spike fully under control by Loud.
Just that A reclear allowed Sadak and Les to get in such deep positions. And Tui's as well with the Harbor util is making it really difficult for Team Liquid to punish anything. It's not often you give space to the Harbor Viper to actually go for extra control, but when you do, it's a dangerous prospect.
Yeah. You wonder here, given what we heard from Emil a few moments ago, given how this round has gone, given how the half has gone, you've got to suspect that there's a timeout on the horizon. Because that's a Prime Gaming flawless through for Loud, and that's 4 rounds up.
Someone they should be absolutely winning them. They took a big risk early in the half and it paid off, but not able to capitalize on that is when things get really, really tough to reconcile with. And still, Doug, no timeout called. And they're forcing up again.
The only thing I can think of is you go back to the opening of the half, and it seemed like they were hanging with Loud. It was just a couple of things going the wrong way, but since then, it has felt very different. But maybe this is where things change. You've got the Rolling Thunder, you have the ult for Redguard too, and it seems like they want to go towards A.
You can tell Loud wants to duel at A early on in this round to try to get some of the util out. And Sadak's coming over too, which is very odd to me, because I was expecting them to act like the strong side was on A and then end up leaving it so they could play retake, but it's full retake for C that they're intending.
Do they take any space? Yeah, you see it right there, that high tide. Just a little bit short, intended to cover the same space that the Viper wall had. But ultimately pops back up. Redguard doesn't take any space behind it.
Oh, I'd be very confused if I'm Team Liquid, not seeing anybody jump spot on this angle. There we go.
That's why. I mean, he went coast to coast, bro. Remember, Sadak was at A just a few moments ago.
Yep.
Redgar looking for his timing. Man, you can tell he wants to creep forward.
Breach ult coming as well from Yampi. They're going to go for a C split.
Yeah, and I don't think Loud are fully confident on where this hit is.
Off your feet!
It's just Sadak here by
He can
himself,
dodge
and he's
that.
going to get knocked up.
Let's absolutely just dodge that.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
And the wall is actually preventing those players from coming through.
Redgar's ahead. Redgar's ahead. He's gotten behind them. The first falls. The second does not. Again, the IGL duel this time going in favor of Sadak as he peeks behind Plat, tries to get a kill. 13 seconds left. The spike just now trying to make its way out.
He's got time here.
Soulcast is going to have to get so much value done. The flash doesn't hit. The bullets from Tui's does. That's the round.
And Aspas falling away as well. I was questioning the rotations from Sadak early in that, but the more I think about it, the more I think Sadak has a fantastic understanding of how Team Liquid is playing. Finally, we're going to get that timeout going. But you can tell he's being very aggressive, which is uncharacteristic. Sadak, you know, he doesn't stand on the super passive side, he doesn't stand on the very aggressive side, but this game he is very quick with those rotates. And I think what he was talking about with you know, facing potentially 4 series losses in a row, he said this game we felt a lot more prepared. We feel like we did our research a lot better for this team and their opponent. And I think you just saw evidence of that with all that rotating.
I think you can even, if I remember correctly, he said something about just feeling like they're smiling more, right? Like little things like that. How are you feeling going into this series? What kind of pressure do you have on your shoulders? Again, given the fact that they've lost 3 in a row, given that they're on the verge of exiting another international tournament without a single series win, it's just a drastic subversion of expectations relative to what we thought they were going to be. So for them, you come in a little bit looser, you come in a little bit more comfortable, and so far it's paying off.
I mean, of course they're more comfortable. They're playing Harbor Viper. Finally, man.
And finally, speaking of which, Liquid call a timeout. Down 5 rounds. We'll see what the changes are on the other side of this.
They're still forcing up here with no spike plan again. Like, this is getting concerning, man, especially out of a timeout. Like, they just don't care. And the funny part, too, is we've already seen evidence of Team Liquid being very good when they don't end up going for a buy like this, when they go for a little bit of a save round with just the Sheriffs.
Aspas has the op. Oh my goodness.
Dodge.
No way, bro. He's got this red like a book.
And they've already done so much damage to Nats to get him out of here.
Does Aspas get a shot? There's the knee. He does get the shot. It does not land, and Nats pushing forward, though cautiously.
I don't think Nats realized how close Aspas was. I think he maybe could have gone for a punish there, but opts not to.
The information gathering that Loud is managing to amass via the utility that they're using is just outrageous. They're just so methodical with it. Again,
both sides are really trying to do the same thing, right?
Sure.
Trying to defend the util. Team Liquid is just focused so hard on breaking it all. There's a TP up into Dark from Redguard. Forces everybody off site. But they have this KJ lockdown.
30 seconds left.
They might. No, Yampi doesn't have his aftershock. Nats does have mollies, but
Les has a counter, though. And there it is. You're wondering if that was a cue for them to go off of. And they're almost overlapping one another.
But even if they're overlapping here, the attackers have to get off site.
Yeah.
Whereas you can run your way on. What are they doing, though?
They're pushing forward.
Is there gaps in Dark here? Yes.
There is. And yeah, one's been detained, but Tui's is still alive. 38 HP, though. He doesn't have very much to work with. Natch drops him. See one player down in hell. Sadak now. Reinforcements arriving. The op in the hand.
Oh.
Another rare miss. Sadak has gotten it to half, though. He's gotten it 3/4 of the way. There's no way in. Less with 4 and another for Loud.
Despite Aspas missing that shot, Les has got you. And Sadak with the full stick. Again, questionable from Liquid here. You're right, the counter lockdown is nice, but the only place that you can really fight against that defensive one is long. You have to fall so far back down short.
Talk about the roller coaster of emotions that we just saw from Emil. From yes, dude, that call worked, to head and hands once more.
And when your coach is going to start struggling for answers as well, start to lose confidence in his own calls, then things are going to be dire here for Liquid as they're down 6 rounds on this defense.
The scene's tough, you see, for Loud. The scattering of utility from the Killjoy, from Les. You've got a little bit towards B. You've got some protecting the Raj. And Safe is going to try to challenge, or at least he's considering, tempted by what's on the other side.
Yampi just uses Aftershock to clear the KJ util, which he did get successfully, the alarm bot.
That Nano's still there. And you're still going to have to get through the turret and garage, which has been spotted. They've also laid eyes on Les. I don't think they've seen Aspas zone. Once again, you're seeing Loud take space down too long.
And this is the same story every round from Liquid, which it feels like you have to, but when it hasn't worked at all over these 9 rounds, you have to start questioning the commitment to the game plan here.
This is so interesting for Loud because if they lose control of C, they have retake tools, but they have a couple players on site. So do you choose to fight?
Oh, and they have no clue about Aspas. Again, this fake into C. They did this on the pistol round. A lot different.
Oh, this time it's getting real value. Tui's drops the Reckoning.
And pulling this out is super key.
That's huge. I mean, that kill out from Soulcast. Sada could have stopped the round with how little time was left. 1, maybe 2 kills seals it. But not the case. And now Loud have to figure out how you're going to retake into 3v5 where you don't have the Reckoning and where you have Aspas with the op.
And remember, actually, what Emil was talking about when we heard the replay of him saying it was a good call. They basically ran the same strat here. Break all the util, fake C a little bit, and then go back towards A. But the tool's much different here for Loud in terms of the retake.
Enemy kill.
See how aggressive Aspas is going to get here. He's got the op. You imagine you want to preserve it going into the next, although there is a good bit of money. But ultimately, the conversation doesn't matter. As it falls to the ground, we'll see if Liquid try to pick it up. Yeah, I believe Yumpy did. And if that's the case, we're going to see an attack side op for Liquid, which we haven't seen all map.
Left.
Great entry from Soulcast onto that side to Sadak.
It's really hard to stress the value of that kill. Again, time was so short.
Sadak has definitely been the target by Team Liquid frequently, and he's been losing his fights. The only time I remember was that one time in C where he was anchoring, getting the kill and falling behind his wall.
Remember, attack side off from the previous round that Aspas dropped in the hands of Safe now. And perhaps expecting aggression from B. Not the case so far. Meanwhile, Aspas still with one of his own.
Crazy part here is about the only player who actually is getting to see anybody at the beginning of these rounds is Aspas a lot of times. Team Liquid is getting denied. Finally, they might actually be able to challenge Les in Garage, but as soon as he hears that Trailblazer, he's gone.
Just pop the blades. Les took a lot of damage, spammed through double doors there. I thought they were going to try to go with the Trailblazer, but it seems like Les did a good job of keeping him back.
To get that turret down, 50 seconds. Again, basically nobody spotted from either side.
Oh, that cascade is weird.
I've got your trail.
That cascade is so weird. They're going to drop Secret towards A, but they want to end B, and there's nobody here.
Yeah, good reaction from them. They spot the aggression close A, they push it back with the Seekers, and they instantly go into B where nothing went.
I even love that. They didn't smoke either side initially, so Safe could take the duel. Then the smoke comes out from Redguard towards B lane, or C lane, excuse me, but they're going to try to get him behind it. The Seekers, the Trailblazer, you've got the Harbor Wall too, but perhaps a little bit too deep, because you're not expecting Safe this close, this tight, with the op. Sadak on the other side, and the shot misses, but Sadak doesn't. Spike ticking away as it's another couple kills going in favor of Loud. He's gotten it to half, or at least he didn't. I thought he would. It's all falling under less than Chewy's. Trying to cause as many problems as possible, and boy, do they succeed.
Every time it feels like Liquid finds some success of their initial ideas, Loud's retakes come in to just shut everything down. This time, what I want to draw attention to is that high tide that actually segmented all the fights. They're able to isolate Safe front sight here, where he misses the shot. And then as well, look, all the players behind those wall right now are trying to spam the spike while one player is fighting in front.
Right.
And that's impossible to deal with when you have 4 players from Loud peeking front B main.
See what the buy is for Liquid. Again, it's forced. Stinger for Redgar.
I mean, outside of that second round, it doesn't feel like Liquid is saved ever in this game.
I don't think they have. Sadak again playing a tight angle. He has spotted one. They now know where he is. If they dump a lot of utility here, he could be in trouble, but Les is here to help. Man, and that's just enough. Look at that.
Team Liquid is having such trouble today against this Harbor Viper, and it's no surprise. Loud is the masters of this comp. That's why there were so many questions about why they dipped away from it on so many maps. why they weren't favoring maps like Pearl, like Haven, where it looked impossible to get through for so long, and you're seeing again that same influence here. There's not been a single time Liquid is full sent on a site.
No, and this feels like this is going to be a very slow round once more. Yampy just used his fault line just to check garage. And if that's the case, if they want to play around it for entry out onto the site, it's going to be a little bit before it comes back up. You've got the alarm bot out from Les, who's still playing towards B. Tui's
30 seconds
very
left.
close by, with still plenty of utility to work with. The Paranoia is going to head out towards C, but Cowanzine is able to draw a line in the sand once more. 3 bullets left, and that's all it takes. Not able to connect on the 4th, but Tui's trying to do what his teammate could not, and he does. Liquid feel like they're crumbling here, Balla.
I couldn't agree more, Doug. That dash by Safe, desperation. This to me feels very familiar from many games I've watched of Redgar's calling, where it just starts to stagnate, where it's the same idea, committing to the game plan, never changing. And we're in the final round of the half. It's attack side to try to break down the util, to try to make it really uncertain on which site they're going to hit, but the timings that they're getting, the execution, it's just not fast enough. It's always coming with these 20-second hits. And in that last round, too, they're even going into the KJ util without breaking it.
Desperation in the Team Liquid camp on the other side of this timeout again, just trying to find yourself on 9-3 half. We'll see if they can pull it off. They don't have any ults that they can combine or anything like that either, Balla. It's just the guns that they have. Redgar's got a Spectre, 2 Bulldogs, a Guardian for Yampy. Meanwhile, for Loud, you have comfort for days via ults, via the weaponry that they have.
It's the same thing again. Just listening to where it is, and Cowanzine's already, I think maybe he might have spotted a gun barrel through that high tide that he gets the dink off on.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, it's still such good awareness of what Team Liquid has been doing every round.
Yeah.
It's been every round.
And at this point, you've grown to expect it. I mean, Liquid have done such a good job of meticulously dissecting the utility that Loud put before them, but the problem is when you get to the final cut, the one that matters, the scalp is blunted. There's nothing else there. They're going to drop the Seekers, and it seems like they want to go fast towards C. The Paranoia right into the lap of Sada. Can he reposition and stay alive? He's gotten onto the Molly. Redgar's taking so much damage, 31 HP.
30 seconds left.
And that flash from on high, the peek out from Sada, nothing found. Liquid have not gotten backside yet. They're trying to stay forward. Sada gets 2. That's the spike. It's another disaster for Liquid. Everything falling to pieces, and be it in the face of Nat's damnedest. He cannot do a thing. A 10-2 half for Loud, and complete obliteration.
To end on that note for the half is incredibly sour for Team Liquid. I mean, it's just horrible, really. Redgar's TPing onto a Molly. It's like Loud expected it, but I don't know how you can predict that.
No. And they're not just a page ahead, they're reading the book that Liquid haven't even opened yet. Thank you so much, Mimi. Yeah, the pistol just feels like a drop in an otherwise ocean of momentum that Liquid need in order to get back into this, because down 10-2, you're going to the defensive side now where you'd expect to have a little bit more advantage on the other side, Ball.
Yeah, remember, they did come in with some very creative pistol round on that first half.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do the same thing. Already using the stun, though, I expect, especially against this wall that they see, to layer those 2 up.
Dude, they just paranoia'd as well. They just paranoid, convinced that there was going to be a fight towards A main. It's just, again,
Loud's already here. They already covered everything.
Yeah. Maybe they can equalize via the guns, though. Maybe that's the difference maker, but they didn't expect less. Not in a position like that. And look at where Loud are right now. They're not even concerned about protecting the spike. They want to take the fight to Liquid. They're going for the jugular. Can they put them away?
Your fault.
They've dealt with what's happening in spawn, but 2 slip behind them.
It's quite perfect here from Loud. Everything considered. Nothing left to chance. I mean, other than spamming 4 versus 2 through the smoke, but they didn't even get half at this point, so now it's just going to look for orbs potentially and not even going to find any.
Jugular found in a very aggressive, in-your-face manner.
Yep.
Going to take the fight into spawn, knowing where Loud was pushing.
That's the kill shot, man.
Yep.
There's not much more to say. I mean, Loud, I love what the desk was highlighting in terms of their beautiful defensive side. And again, can't stress this enough. Where was this at Tokyo? Where was this in the first series that they played as well against DRX?
Well, and I think you can ask the inverse too. Where's the Liquid that we saw at the beginning?
Yeah.
They looked way better than this. Just a bit lost here. Just Redgar on the site. Nats is close by. And they have bought in a little bit here. It's a stinger in the hands of the IGL. Just like that, the first falls, the second joins.
Still 3v3. I mean, we talked a lot about how they're so dangerous in these positions. And remember the eco in that first half? They really made Loud work for it.
And they seem to have done a bit of the same here. Yampi upgrading to a Phantom. A prized possession at that. Team tucked at Logs. He's peeking ahead of it, and Kamanzine drops him.
Yampi taking a fight there while Soulcast is in the Trailblazer, and Safe is controlling the flank so they can't come out. But it's a full 1v1. Good attempt on the fake flash, but ultimately the Sheriffs in this eco, this force up full from Team Liquid fizzles out.
Spike planted.
I mean, you needed one. You don't feel like Liquid had much of a choice in a situation like this, right? You got to gamble a little bit and see how the chips fall. But unfortunately, it's been a bit of the same of what we've been talking about all map, just all Loud all the time.
I mean, I will say, it feels like in terms of force buys, in terms of taking these extra risks for their economy, they've been doing it all game.
Yeah, sure,
There's only one single eco round that they took, despite the scoreline. I mean, they had the loss bonus the entire time.
Wait, bro, Loud have 2 watch parties going on right now. I just realized. That's sick.
One's on the beach, one's on the inside.
They have as
They're
many
having
Loud.
fun, man.
They have as many watch parties as Liquid have rounds right now. I'm sorry to the Liquid fans. I had to. My bad. A little levity in an otherwise dire situation, but Safe might be able to swing this thing back. The Guardian finding the opener onto Aspas.
And Aspas actually wanted to go up like a Durka dive into that cove up on top of site. That's definitely something new that I haven't seen Loud go for. A way to mix it up. Outside of the very standard, tough to mix up Harbor Viper plays.
More clean shots out from Safe.
It's really got them an advantage here.
3 rifles left for the attacking side. The Spike still in tow.
Kamanzine and Les still up, though. Those guys are the guys who have been absolutely dominating in perfect form, it feels like, in this series so far.
And remember, Safe, who's really the only real reason Liquid are in this position right now, is 5 HP.
Terminated.
He's got 0 now. A 3v3 for the rest of the round.
This position from Redbar is really good, but doesn't find anything.
Nats isn't going to find anything either, as Kamanzine just single-handedly cracked the site open.
If Nats was there a second earlier, that would have been a nasty crossfire.
Sure.
With Redcar on the off angle as well. Not when you don't expect somebody to play default. That's the defense.
Yeah, Yampi's going to have to 1v3 his way through this to keep the map alive with the Spike already planted.
Remember, Team Liquid was advantaged in this round. They really could have extended this a little bit, and they won't.
Yeah, it's making things harder, and that's just not going to be the case, man. Loud from beginning to end, naturally.
In a place that you really didn't expect them to have a second duelist to be able to match up, and I think that's why you're seeing them as well reach for something different here with the breach.
Often trendsetters. See how they can do on the receiving side of what they've created. Loud on the attack. The single duelist comp from Aspas. From Loud, starting to prod towards A. A little bit of damage onto Sadak.
I think the one note as well on this comp as we get into this pistol round, it's a slow default for Loud, is I think Team Liquid are going to be able to play a lot more fluid, which they needed. I mean, they were way too structured on that Haven attack side.
Yeah, 1000%. I think they may have gotten a little bit of info on the Trailblazer. Safe is going to have a lot to do here. Pushed back by the Roomba. That nade will dissuade just for a moment. They're starting to push forward, though. Safe is going to get cleaned up. That frenzy from Kawanzin, too much. What does Redgar do here? I mean, he's going to get challenged.
Yeah, but this also could be an overplay here.
By
Redgar?
Redgar?
Yeah, because Soulcast is really relying on holding B main down. If he dies, then you lose that. If he gets traded at all, you lose that.
I mean, maybe a frenzy, but a ghost here. They're going to walk forward by themselves. A peek on the second. Perhaps no real idea of what's on the other side. Tui's wins it out. And he gets a second on a Soulcast. What?
Are you kidding me there? What is that?
The bravado.
Spike planted.
Yampi trying to make a play. Two members on the other side of the smoke. Starting to see some of the taps come through. That cloudburst to provide some cover. Tui's with the third. Nats having to do it by himself. See if Nats can do anything about it. 65 HP. He's getting flash. He drops down from heaven right into the next round. Kawanzin cleans him up. Another pistol for Loud.
Just ridiculous there. I mean, especially Tui's walking through that smoke and trading Redgar and then getting the second kill. His first one here. Kind of expected, the second one not. And Redgar's smoke there actually was quite good. It was what the grab wall was actually supposed to be. He kind of bailed himself out with that and gave Soulcast an out. Between all the pressure I was talking about prior to that moment, but that definitely lost him so much control.
Liquid heavy lean towards A. Both duelists that way. Soulcast joining them, but Loud once again intent on going towards B. They found so much success here in the previous round. Well, why not hit it again? Orb up for Aspas, a little bit closer to having that showstopper.
Love that from Team Liquid there, though. Just trying to spam and get some damage done from Redgar, and you do see the purchase from them. It's a bunch of ghosts. This is kind of the classic mix of weaponry you see from those ecos, and it's not a full force like we saw a lot of desperation on that first map.
I do like what Loud did there, too. As soon as Aspas is on the tap, you heard spamming from Loud from their ghosts.
It's coming back from Tui's as well.
Yeah.
Yampi.
He's got a Sheriff. Crosshair trained. Man, that's really difficult to deal with, man.
Yeah, that Phantom just better.
Yep.
And Loud's gotten the right read. I mean, they pulled all the rotates over from Team Liquid. And it's the wrong stack. They were relying on Yampi's information there. But it's just not deep enough, really, to call the rotate in time.
It's now 3 of 8 for the duelist for Loud. And he's looking for more. He's still healthy. He's still got a nade. Perched up on top and Safe cleans him up.
Safe starting to look really crispy.
And remember, you were talking about it, Ball, in the previous map, how good Liquid are in situations like this. They've done well to get Aspas down, but it does not look like they're interested in going for much more.
And again, that's why I was so confused by the amount. Oh, this Molly's trying to actually intend to keep Sadak on site, so he dies to the spike. He's full healthy, though, so he can run through anyways. The nade, though, the combination.
Hurt.
And that's a Phantom, Doug.
Can he get out?
Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Wow.
A little bit of a slip there. Yeah, but he managed to get out.
The reaction there from Sadak is, I mean, incredibly good. Most players of all levels are not reacting that way. They're running into that nade, not expecting it. And he just sees the Molly. He's like, okay, I got time. And how does he keep that clock in his head? A good idea from Liquid, though. I love that. Back to the point I was making about ecos. Haven, they forced almost every round. When you have an eco win rate of like 30% or something like that, Team Liquid had the highest coming into these international events this year. It's just shocking that they didn't rely on that a little bit more.
If they were to win this round, it wouldn't be the eco way this time. You see, they've got guns. They've got a Bulldog for Nats.
Blinded.
Phantoms and Vandals the rest of the way. Got really far up. Killjoy utility, too, from Loud. I mean, this turret, you've got a star set up, too.
And they're not pressuring the middle of the map at all, which normally is what you're looking to target.
And it seems like Loud may try to set this up. Look at where Sadak is, and you've got Aspas who's satcheling forward. So he's taking some space, and it was not a hit towards Mail. You saw it was Safe who was ready with the nade, but...
I mean, we saw Sadak stun. It was perfect for both players, right? From B main, it's going into Mail. It's also hitting ropes, so targeting down Nats with one player. forces this reclear right now, and they're all ready for it.
A couple on the other side. You saw Sadak expecting something to block vision, something to blind him, and it never came through. Still gets both kills, still has now an upgraded weapon. And he's still so healthy.
One enemy remaining.
And he revealed his position by pre-firing by accident and still gets Yampy. Got him in the back. He was trying to walk away to save and not give up that information, and Loud is hungry for it.
I mean, how hard do they hunt for Soulcast here?
Extremely.
We'll see. He's expecting it.
He needs to eat into this econ bonus that Loud is going to start getting. I mean, only 2 rounds on the board, 3 rounds after this, and look at it. 3K on almost 4 players.
The money's good. The old situation actually looks really nice for Loud, too. Sadak 2 away from the Rolling Thunder. Aspas 3 away from a showstopper.
And that's things that really, really add up to be.
Oh, no.
Wow. Oh.
Oh, you guessed correctly. Is he going to keep it?
No.
Wow.
That's crazy. And there it is. You can see Nats actually pulled out a secondary there to try to actually find him, but he was so far away thinking he could escape before the satchels came through. That's such a good bonus from Loud, and that's now every single one converted.
Here.
Silence this time from the coach of Liquid.
And we don't get a full force here from Team Liquid. They are going for light armor the entire time.
A little bit extra padding, a little something to try to stay in the fights. Soulcast had a rifle.
Which is funny because they didn't save the last time and they end up going for a force either way. Louder playing this so slow, so considered. Less falling does give a lot of space to Team Liquid, which does force Loud to go for this B hit now.
The dog has fully made its way around the pillar, but Redgar swinging behind it, perhaps undetected. But Loud not confident in what they're seeing. They decide to throw the brakes on it, and look at Safe. He's upgraded a weapon, and he's got him surrounded.
I mean, surely Loud are considering the fact that they're going to flank through A after losing less.
I mean, are they?
Surely. Where's
not looking.
Nobody looking.
Any awareness? No? I mean, it's really just Aspas here.
I mean, the timing is crazy, too. They could just get both kills on B, and it's not even a factor.
Redgar's gotten the first, and there it is. There's nothing that they can do.
Down B.
Safe had open season on members of Loud.
Whoa, missed flash from Soulcast.
Missed shots from Aspas. And a MasterCard Thrifty for Liquid to get on the board.
One converted, finally. I mean, we're starting to talk about the entire series as a whole as well. We've been waiting for this from Liquid. It's a great play from Redgar. I mean, even just shutting down the initial push, too. I'm surprised Loud didn't commit to that after that molly. The smoke went up from Redgar, no grab well. They really were concerned about extra stuff coming in through there. I think they didn't get the information there from Les.
Back into the action, rifles for both. Sadak with the Rolling Thunder and off in the hands of Yampy, currently unchallenged towards B. The nade from Safe should cause some trouble though and deal some damage. Look at Aspas. Gonna have to get healed up, no armor left. Sadak has no armor left, but they invest the Rolling Thunder. Nats avoided it, tries to peek out from behind the smoke, and Team cleans him up, and no, Safe once more. The discipline box goes unchecked yet again. Hold, looking for more value.
Satchel out.
The spike well out of reach.
One enemy remaining.
And this looks like another round for Liquid. 2 instances now, back-to-back baller, where it feels like Loud, these little mistakes are costing them everything.
It was the same story against DRX, too. It was very minor mistakes, over peaks, not synced together. And they won the first map there. Despite it being all the way in OT, but you're right, that's a mistake Fraud is going to be reeling at. I mean, we've been watching a meal cam the entire time.
Yeah, I want to see the Danny cam after that one. Because again, that's 2.
Yeah, he was stunned up too, remember, at the beginning of that. That's something that not only should you have seen him go up when he got breach ulted, but on top of that, you just check. They're really expecting the crossfire, while after chasing down that kill where Nats was trying to save him, by the way. Why is he peeking? Those types of questions are not getting answered.
Meanwhile, for Liquid, a really comfortable position. The op wasn't dropped, so Yampi still has his. There's so much money in the hands of Safe, in the hands of Soulcast. They're set up really well to go on a run here.
Nice Trailblazer, he's stunned up. Still gets away though.
Really nice movement. Meanwhile, Yampi not moving at all. Still holding it up, and Tuiz is on the other side of it. What a shot!
Tuiz is incredibly good when he's on shots like that.
Yeah.
He's an inconsistent player though. And I know a lot of people were starting to doubt his transition from the duelist on his prior teams to the main controller here for Loud.
But dog, when he's on, he's on. How much more can they find? Nats doing well to keep them back.
And Aspas following up too with this showstopper. Gonna clear out a lot more space. Hold that space as well for them to recover the spike. Still, there are retake tools here.
Yeah, that's one of them. That Cosmic Divide, currently used by Tuiz, but Redgar has his. Do they invest?
Sheesh.
Boy, all he had was a pixel.
A slow pixel at that.
Yeah.
And they won't end up using anything as Redgar goes down. It also looked kind of like Safe and Soulcast were already deciding to save there, which is surprising. Either way.
It's actually really surprising. Again, look at the money they have.
Yeah, those 2 rounds in a row. I mean, you really boost the economy when you're going full light armor. Just a couple of rounds won, and you could start buying, like they were on Haven, for example. Either way, Loud Clap back after 2, I mean, pretty poor rounds. Definitely have to say, with not checking. It's just those types of things, little mistakes that cost you everything.
I think this is also, you know, I go back to the pistol round. I think about Tuiz, his 2 entries onto B.
Yeah.
I think about Tuiz on this round too.
Yep.
He's heating up. He's looking good, and you mentioned it. He can be inconsistent, but boy, when he's on, he's on. 6 and 2 currently, sitting at the top of the scoreboard for Loud.
And we do have a couple ults here from Team Liquid that are close to being fulfilled as well. Soulcast 1 off, Nats 2 off. Which means if they end up winning this round, that's a crucial round that they'll have those 2 up as well.
Blinded. Here.
I wonder if that early flash out from Soulcast forces Yampi to reposition a little bit, or if he wants to take some of that space. Yeah, he's creeping up right now with the op. Meanwhile, there's a lot of action towards mid. I mean, both Razors are just separated by a nebulous purple blob. That flash from up top, Nats having to turn. No challenge yet.
Remember, he got punished in a prior round. The breach is set up to play anti-flash and also potentially reactive off of Aspas's information.
He's got nade, 2 satchels.
Fault line just came back up. They just spotted Nats.
Save. Tagged a little, and they actually fault line to push Nats off the angle.
And they're falling off mid. They've gotten both sides, both ropes. Oh, hold on. Tuiz creeping very close there. Wow. It looks like Team Liquid has the idea to re-clear B as well.
Loud are so quiet about this. They've lost Heaven. Oh, Safe has gotten a little bit ahead of it. Both satchels, but he's dropped on the way out. Exit not found. Redgar trying to do some damage, and he can between him and Nats. They drop 3, but Loud punch back.
They're planning for spawn right now. Very risky decision, and Tuiz.
Dude, again,
He's ice
answering.
cold.
Yeah, answering the call for Loud.
That's a momentum buster again. Especially after Nats and Redgar do so well to actually keep them in that round, because I think Loud was playing that mid round perfectly. And Team Liquid making some risks, making some signs of indecision too. Yet they still dominated that B Heaven hold.
We continue to set up Tuiz, and he just continues to perform like that. We're going to keep talking about him. He's just playing so well right now. And while it's certainly not as dominant as we saw in Haven, it seems like Loud are still in a very comfortable position. You see a spam out from Kawanzine. Don't think it tagged. No, it didn't tag Safe at all. But an early pit invested from Nats mid.
That's what I was talking about. Being able to lock down mid on this crucial round is very important. Before Loud gets their cycle up, try to stem their economy a little bit. Could be massive.
Yampy. There's the first challenge. There's not a flash. It's going to be dry. The second flash come through, and Safe picked up, or excuse me, Aspas picked up the spike, and I thought he was going to satchel into heaven.
Yeah, he was definitely intending to. That was the path on that execute, but as Sadak falls, he has to pivot off, and thankfully there's nobody on the site.
Well, unfortunately for him, he didn't fully commit to it. I wonder if that was just like an accident. As he was satcheling forward with Sadak in front of him, he just picked it up via his pathing. So Disaster perhaps avoided Loud getting the spike down, and look at how far up they are in spawn.
Well, Redgar's expecting this, though. I love this. Playing deep. Now the Seekers are going to come in, and 2 go to spawn, so Redgar knows what's happening.
They've got a star behind him, too, and it turns into the gravity wall. They're keeping the fight in front of him. Redgar gets both.
Player standing.
Redgar gets all 3. What a play.
I thought Tui's again would have been able to get some success there, but no. It's the IGL for Team Liquid.
As soon as the Seekers confirmed where they were, the star behind them, and the gravity wall to keep them in front, very nicely done.
Yampy with his first kill here, huge. I mean, you talked about how that pivoted off spots, but then Redgar's read is perfect too. I love how calm he was, and then all of a sudden,
A little pop off. Just couldn't keep it contained.
just the scream comes out of nowhere.
Liquid staying in this fight, Loud littering B site on the minimap with pings.
Covering it. Need that back. Conceal pulling them in.
Nothing but the dog
Scout destroyed.
creating some noise. They got the gravity well out from Redgar.
Nats is not here in time to actually molly, so they get through, and for the first time, Off's going to commit, and they're losing people instantly.
Yeah, it's labored. They only had 2 come through. The other 2 were sectioned off. You see him still in garage.
Concealment.
Spike still safely behind it.
And that's the value there of having that orb in mid for Nats to rotate very fast. Obviously, you had the nade and that gravel come through from Redgar and Safe.
Blinded.
But then the follow-up after Sadak got out, after Aspas got out, is that molly from Nats. He could just cross safely through mid and get there in time. Team Liquid finally, that game plan, finally this strategy that they're choosing to go for really working. And Loud is struggling really hard to get out on the first set of util,
Concealment. Obscuring vision.
which is kind of what we were seeing on Haven, if you remember back to that. Team Liquid constantly just breaking the util, trying not to go,
30
never having an
seconds left.
actual pounce, never having faith that they could. Here, Loud's showing the same propensity, but they do attempt that push through, now twice actually, on the A side and the B side. Whereas prior rounds, they just throw out, the fault line, a nade, maybe a boombot, something like that, a flash as well.
Yeah, some
and
work.
then they just sit
10
behind the
seconds
smoke.
left.
Right, yeah, some work across mid, get Aspas into a position where he can maybe get an opener. And you're right, that just hasn't been the case. So the round will end with Liquid saving every single weapon, Op still in hand. And they draw within 1.
Still crazy to me that this is an elimination game.
Yeah.
I mean, up to this point, it hasn't felt like it. Obviously, we had that crazy stomp on the first map. Loud hungry to make a statement. And now it feels like both sides still hesitant as we get this timeout coming in from Loud.
I mean, with tournament life on the line, I get it. I have to go back to the year that these 2 teams have had, and maybe expectations a little bit different, but I don't know that even in the face of Group D, for these 2 teams to be the first ones who are fighting off elimination.
Changes are out here from Loud, because definitely something needs to change. This single controller double initiator comp feels like it should have some go to it, but playing against the double controller, which has been so standard, I mean, to me, that's the key thing that you change other things around on this compositional idea that, again, they were so good at. It's odd to me. Here we go, fast up a ramp. Finally some early control elsewhere on the map, outside of one of the mains on this, which is difficult to do, actually. You see this smoke intended to do what the Viper Wall does normally, and Nats is looking at it.
That's huge. I think they wanted to pinch mid.
Oh, man, this is the spike alone.
Spike down mid.
Yeah, Loud seemed intent on taking some of that ramp space and then crunching mid and opening the site, opening the map a different way. But Nats with the massive one. And then, of course, it was Redgar in excellent position as well.
Well, Nats is not able to do that, by the way, until Safe walks down mid.
Yeah, excuse me, it was Safe, not Redgar, thank you.
And now Loud's struggling to find a way in, man.
My, we may have a series on our hands.
Nature girl down. My ultimate is ready.
Well, still going for it with the lockdown too. Now there's suddenly a chance, and Yampi only has the op, which could be good.
This would be ridiculous. Talk about a swing of momentum.
30 seconds left.
But I think Liquid still have too much utility here, man. Like, Safe still has his nade. Yampi's with the op, as you mentioned, but they're playing really safe. They're giving A up.
Dude, they're so scared too. They just gravel smoked up in heaven and waited all that time till the smoke fades. And they don't even get a nice plant, it's just a safe one.
Meanwhile, Tui's just put a star down right behind the spike.
This Redgar flank is actually quite nice too, because you could expect maybe like a lockdown post plant type of thing.
The timing here is key though. Do they challenge less together?
Do they know he's up ramp is the
Yeah.
key part. You'd expect him to be playing up in that main area if he goes for the play.
Tui's by himself on the site in the smoke, the nade flying by his face.
Is he gonna get a lockdown in heaven here?
He's been so patient, but will it pay off? He saw the bullet, surely.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him tucking. Oh my gosh, this is so smart from Tui's and from Les. It's all safe by himself. Can he do it? No! What a round from Loud. And they did so without investing the lockdown from Les.
What a ridiculous 2v4 there. I mean, just crazy. Remember, that started as a 5v3. They got both first kills Team Liquid did. What a play from Tui's, man. What a shift. We've gone from, you know, some of the rounds we saw at Tokyo where it was just crazy beefs out of that guy. And today, he's been insanely good.
9-3 currently. And honestly, his magic goes all the way back to the pistol round. Remember the 2K he got pushing into B. Still.
We're gonna get the most practice on against. And we'll see if it can keep up what has been a good half so far, despite looking like, you know, there's struggles here and there. Back into it, though. A little short one.
Op still in the hands of Yumpy. The ult for Redgar. While Loud have two key ones to work with, too. And it seems like for Loud, you know, we were talking about this prior to the timeout, and really both rounds now we've seen, it was a bit different in the previous round, but there is more of an intent on focusing mid.
Scout destroyed.
I'm surprised they haven't gone back for that same punish that they did on to Nats early in this game.
Yeah, with the stun from Sadak, yeah.
They are set up in a
I've
similar
got
way,
your
the
trail.
duel coming in towards B main.
Found one.
Oh, Nats is isolated right now. They could get into this. He's alone. Aspas punishes Redgar, though.
Perhaps off of the fault line, but Kawanzine is going to get one onto Nats too. You were right, he was isolated. He gets cleaned up. The timing on this is good from Soulcast as he gets both. I mean, finding just the right moment to strike. But Kawanzine not interested in playing this map much longer. That's now 3 on the round for him. Yampi with a nice snap, a 1v2, he dashes forward, the spike has been planted, spam onto 2, he's not fully connecting, but damage has been dealt, he's gotten it down to 1. 2, he's weak, he's been good, but has he been this good? No! Yampi with 3 as Liquid get the round.
And some fire from Yampi on stage, too. Trying to even this out before we close out the half. A 1v3. Soulcast contributing too. I mean, swinging like that is just with speed.
Enemy remaining.
And getting 2 in that. And that's massive. 1 great, but the second on the exit
Yes!
nuts.
Yes! Nice. To be able to get back in that after the Russian duo fall in mid. Here we go.
He's back. Yampi's back, baby.
It was missing on stage this entire day so far, and finally,
And we talked
some energy.
We talked about it in Tokyo too, and he said the team felt like it was a curse, and that's why they weren't doing it. Aspas The Rolling Thunder paves the way for him to move his way forward. The
spotted
showstopper,
him.
he spotted him, but he doesn't get the kill. Safe does. Blades from Yumpy, another found. Spike on the pause. Safe tried to find some space. Wasn't able to, though.
You should run.
That's a deep lockdown, bro.
That doesn't even clear out the back of sight right here.
But they're aware of it. You see the pings on the minimap. I don't even think they're really intending on going that way,
But
to
what
be
do they
honest.
even have there to punish? They put a Cosmic Divide to help Soulcast stay alive.
Blinded.
Flash out on the other side, and that's going to confirm that they do want to hit that way. You don't have to worry about what's happening mid. Meanwhile, Safe creeping his way forward. The flick from Soulcast. I mean, the value these last 2 rounds. Safe bookending it, getting the final round and tying us at 6.
The quick thinking from
Switching
Team
sides.
Liquid there. Everything hitting together. And it couldn't have come
You want to find it?
at a better time here as we end the half tied up. What a play from Redguard to give that wall up for Soulcast, and then Soulcast to really capitalize on it, dodging all the util that was available, which wasn't much from Loud.
Sure.
It's so good.
Oh, man. Yeah, the barking's back. Really could have been the difference maker, as we could be having a very, very different conversation.
Yeah, that clutch from Yumpy, and then again, quick thinking, but now they're on the attack. And they have some pacey tools. I mean,
they do.
yeah, they're playing double controller, that's the difference, but you've got to be ready to shut that down for Loud. Ready to have some trap plays here, and I love actually Sadek's position. It's really poised for a nice stun off of this dog. If you go up A ramp, could be disastrous.
You saw the stun, but they had already
He's
pushed him
coming
off
from
the
behind.
angle.
Blocking sight.
How much more space do they find? They fully have heaven control in Sadek's position.
He's,
Not detected. Ooh, dealt a little bit of damage onto Yumpy, but that's all it is.
and they've got this flank from Redguard coming in, turret recall.
Where are you going?
It's planted for heaven. They've got full control. That wall was going to allow both Safe and Yumpy to play off each other very well.
If they can get the kills before Redguard finds a space, Loud may have a shot at this, because otherwise Liquid seem in firm control. The timing
He doesn't
is
need
everything.
to. Doug, he doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't have to get these kills. All he has to do is play with Safe into heaven here.
Yeah, just contain.
Cannot.
Just contain. One spotted, one dealt with. Now they understand what's on the other side. You see Les trying to deal with it while Soulcast keeping him back on the side himself. 2 massive kills. And that's surely the round.
The first pistol coming in from Team Liquid.
And if I'm not mistaken, the first lead they've had all series.
Absolutely has been. It's been a rough one, but finally coming alive. Right out of that little extended break we had in the beginning of that half, or at the end of that half. Loud going to take their first eco, feels like in a long, long time. Let's see what they've got.
Right there.
Let's see how Team Liquid can maintain the advantage here that they finally built themselves up.
We know that Liquid are good in situations that Loud now find themselves in.
Yep.
And you're right, because of how the series has played out, we really haven't had to see how Loud handle positions like this. But it seems like they want to go exploring mid. Well, the guns and the duelists that are on the other side prove to be a bit too much.
I've talked about the reads that Team Liquid have had a couple times now, and you can tell they expected to push. Look how far back Redguard is still playing. And how the 2 sides of mid right here, Yumpy and the other guys, this is where they were playing. This is where they were holding the line. They knew that push was coming. They walked slowly into it, and they're rewarded. Minus losing Safe. Either way, that gun's not going to be recovered. So still not many chances for Loud to get back in this, unless Sada can get some cheeky flank going.
Remember, he had a shot at it in the previous round.
Oh,
this
with the
time.
dog. Oh, no.
He's got a sheriff, too. The first, the second does not fall.
And Aspas is way too far to do anything. What a flash there.
I mean, Tui's,
That's misinformation, though, because that was coming in from heaven.
he understands the Redguard's behind him. It's just a classic against the Ghost. And that's just not enough. I really love this from Liquid, too, man. They're taking their time. They're getting the orbs. They're not just satisfied with getting the kills and getting the spike down.
I'm really curious where that flash came from Soulcast, actually. I'm wondering if that was intentionally going through one of the windows on top of B rafters.
Oh, that nade got caught up there, but that's a ding from Aspas with the Spectre up in heaven now, 13 HP. Aspas, I don't think they're coming, man.
Another ping from Soulcast's flash.
That was a crazy flash, too.
Yeah, way up high.
Yeah.
It's important there. You got to get the elevation to actually ping on heaven.
This would be quite the Ospas moment. But that's now 4 or 5 shots missed, not a single one landing.
There was chances there.
Yeah.
Sadak's flank.
These parasites
They got it down to the
are gonna take
1v2
one
eventually.
step past this place.
Definitely chances. And it's costly. Only 2 players surviving from Liquid. But look at the amount of money they have. They're perfectly happy to get 1 rifle up and then still maintain that bonus.
Yeah, they're vibing. 45-50 for Yampy.
Yeah, 2 ghosts as well. I mean, he's still going to be getting up, way up. And he's also 2 away from blades, too. So you could conceivably think about a round where he gets both or.
See the dash. Up ramps and the flash on the other side of the smoke.
And
There's the first orb.
There's nobody punishing either there. There's definitely an opportunity for Sadak to get spam on him, something like that, but they weren't considering it.
Yeah, they were playing so much softer.
They do. Loud does have B main control. There was a deep smoke from Tui's that went out. So they're maintaining control of that one, and Team Liquid are sticking with this 1-2-2.
It seemed like they might try to set up for a trap mid. That flash is all it's going to be. The Trailblazer is going to get info on both. Do you push in?
Blinded.
I look at how Loud are rotating further back in towards A. They know that they've lost mid control, and they're expecting the push that way.
Yeah. The important thing about all that Team Liquid just did is it pushes the players out back B heaven. So they can't spot, are they crossing mid? They can't spot if they're going up into ropes, which means these A players have to play a lot differently. There's still 2 people here. There's still Sadak and Les. Les has been phenomenal
30 seconds
today.
left.
But not as good on split as he was on Haven. 25 seconds, and you're going for a Heaven play here. That seems a little misadvised, but you can get great executes out of it onto the site.
Watch Sadak. He still has plenty of utility. He's going to reposition around it, too. That Aftershock is going to buy a lot of time. 10 seconds left. Can they hold the line? Aspas has arrived. Sadak with the first, Les with the second. There's no way in. They've grabbed the spike now, and the smoke is going to provide a little bit of cover to spam through. Do they stop the plant? Yes, they do. Liquid burn the midnight oil just a bit too much.
The fact that Sadak's able to get back into sight there is huge. As the execute comes in, dropping that Aftershock, completely controlling elbow. He knows what he did.
The fault line was really nice to delay on top of that.
Yeah, it split up the hit. You can see it's just safe and Yampy out. And then just playing ring around Rosie. Loud back into this with that anti-bonus.
But remember, we were talking about it at the beginning of the round, the money, the way that Liquid had handled their finances, put them in a position where they could still buy an attack side op behind you and rifles.
And I think I love the attack side op here, specifically because there's only 1 controller. You can manipulate all the timings on the map with your Viper wall, with the smokes that you're placing from Redgar. There's so much room for you to actually make gaps where you can peek deep angles. For example, right now, look at Yampy. He's onto Les's angle, and I think Les just jump spotted. But just 1 missed moment of discipline for Les, and that's a kill.
Does the discipline run out?
Not with that turret there.
No. Patience from the youngster. Ooh. Less so from Sadak as he crept forward. Does get wall bang, 30 HP, still alive. Look at the space that Tui's has taken. He's crept his way forward into garage. And if he pops that smoke, there's no way you expect him there.
Get out
This is
of
a
my
20-second hit again, Doug.
30 seconds left.
There's a little bit more to work with, Tui's. Oh, he's expecting the first! Tui's with 3! Not again!
My ult's ready.
What a play!
Still a chance, though. They're so far away.
Soulcast is so weak.
See but your trail.
They're going to drop the Seekers, and that's going to provide a little bit of breathing room
Oh,
to
the
get the
Aftershock's
spike
gonna get
down.
him.
What is that from Yampy? Pops the blades, has the op, a 1v2.
He gets into spawn. And the flash misses him. This is a huge line.
It's just another barking
They're
moment
coming back, though.
from the star. Oh, he's going to have to get both, and he can't get any. What a play from Tui's.
These re-clears in these clutch moments are working so well to shut down any attempt.
Dude, I didn't think he'd play that way either, to be honest. I didn't think he'd
Who,
face
Yuppie?
that way. No, Tui.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He had dropped.
It feels like they didn't even see the smoke that he dropped.
Yeah, he had dropped the star to the left, and I thought, all right, he's going to pop that
He's
into a
baiting.
smoke. Yeah, he's going to tuck, and you would never expect him there. But Tui's, man, once again, almost brought Danny to tears there.
I mean, it means a lot. Elimination on the line. And close it out early here. We go to Lotus, which we haven't seen that much of Loud on Lotus. And it didn't look perfect against DRX, despite the fact that DRX is also one of those teams that hasn't played it too often.
What do you think that stack of cups there is for? I think it's all the clutches.
Yeah,
He's keeping up with them himself.
Yeah, I like it. It's cold-blooded.
A reminder.
Or
across
it's
the
just a
stage.
way to start a tech pause.
Or it's just a way to start a top pause. Yeah.
And Liquid on the ropes right now. I mean, I have to point out the fact that the last 3 rounds have come down to, I mean, last second hits.
Yeah.
Every time. And that one in particular, I mean, they didn't have control of B-Main. They didn't have the information, so they have to dry walk into Tui's. And yeah, Tui's makes a crazy play, but it's also at the behest of Liquid to do something to stop that sort of thing, right? To make it a little uncomfortable for him. That was full comfort the entire time, and he's so advanced that he is calling rotates a lot earlier. Whether or not he wins that fight as he did. And now, oh, look at this, actually. Les is the guy who's opping here. Instead of Aspas on the Rays.
Aspas also only has 1 satchel.
Remember, actually, back to last year's meta when this team, Loud, won Champions 2022 in Turkey.
Blinded.
Les was playing a lot of Chamber in maps where Aspas was floating elsewhere to Rays or to Jet.
I was looking to see if he popped someone up with the other satchel into a cheeky spot, but I don't think it's the case, no.
Yeah, maybe accidentally popped it early before
Sure.
freeze time.
Sure, yeah.
Because he has enough money for it. You're right. A little bit of a head scratcher.
We'll find out after. Yumpy's by himself, A. Procs the dash, clears a little bit of Les's util. And it just feels like a reaction game. Look at that deep flash out from Kawanzin all the way into B spawn.
Yeah, they're going for a Cosmic Divide fake on this B site. Look at Redguard's position. You can see exactly what they're thinking. And Loud, no. I mean, you're right, too. He's, again, so deep. He knows everything.
The alarm bot is here, too. That wall is going to help. It's going to provide some exit for Les to get out.
It's 30 seconds again.
Remember the rolling thunder from Sadak, too.
It's just going to push
This
them all back.
Oh, it could be disaster. Do they flood behind it? Yeah, Les has already taken the space. Remember, he's got an op. Aspas has fallen. Kawanzin playing in the smoke. Does he have any more util? No, I don't think he does. Now 13 seconds left, and once again, Liquid may have waited a bit too long. The clock expires, and Safe is on the other side of it.
Yeah, he doesn't even have time to recover the
No.
spike in time. Look at Turi's. The dude's just chilling.
Oh, I thought he was going to fumble that for
Yeah,
sure.
losing the out would have been
Yep.
brutal.
Yep.
Given the fact that Yumpy has been actually thinking about it. That, again, they're not considering. It's like both sides in some of these cases are not thinking about the tools that the team has. Sadak there has been playing this A site so frequently. And they're just not ready for that.
That rolling thunder was insane.
Breathe deep.
When you have those tools at your disposal so late in the round, it's the biggest safety valve you could possibly ask for.
Concealment.
What do they do here? No op on Loud side, but Tui's once again aggressively fighting for B main. Recalled star. Op no longer in the hands of Yumpy.
Excuse
That's
me?
from Sadak.
Excuse me, Sadak?
Yeah, pop off, King.
Aspas is right next to you, and he's the one taking that fight. That's crazy.
Amen.
That's been all series, too, from him.
Yeah.
He's been heavily involved. Safe picked up the op, though, and I mean, Tui's, this is a tough shot to hit.
He's done it before.
Nice, he saw him. Falls off.
Meanwhile, they're dogging towards a main down ramps to confirm that there's nothing outside, and that instantly,
Yeah.
look at how they're rotating B.
Dude, it's always, every time, they get all the information well ahead of the hit.
Save has ult, has 2 satchels. Do they go off of that? The timing on the Seekers is unreal. Again, 40 seconds left, and they're still back in spawn. The Seekers getting so much space back.
No
And
way.
Aspas is in the smoke.
Don't do it.
He's got a Vandal. That's going to be tough. Finds nothing. Now the Cosmic Divide, and that's going to buy some space. It's going to force them to go safe with the ult.
That's the wrong way.
Nothing found. Nothing at all. Tui's back sight. Not. Oh, he is able to clean up one. 7 bullets left. Can he find another? No. This time it may have worked out, but Nats is by himself. 13 seconds left. He's still got to grab the spike. He's got to get the kills if he wants to win the round, and none of them come through. Sadak again with 3 and Loud with another.
I'll do my job. You do yours.
Such a huge chance! From Nats of all people, you really thought he could do that. Nobody looking. But just the Guardian, and it's just not his day. It's just not his day. For somebody who looked like the only bright spot for Liquid against their opening opponents of Na'Vi, to suddenly not making the big plays when you expect him to. I mean, it was Nats. I thought 100% of the time he's winning that. Either way, finally the pace from Team Liquid.
Yeah, but the buy is not great. Aspas has an op. There are so many members here. He's got the ult, he's got the nade, he's got it all. And Liquid are still back in garage.
And the fast push instantly gets put down. I mean, you're thinking so often, when is it going to come from Team Liquid? When are they going to be able to switch things up? And it comes at a time, again, that it's readable. When they have a low buy, it's like, okay, they're either forcing or just going for an eco. They're going to try something cheeky, and they do, and it fails. Surprise, surprise.
Les holding his tight angle in ramps. He's got util to protect the site. That Vandal, yep. Only 2 though. I thought he was going to get the 3rd.
Yeah, 5
Solcast.
HP, he's stunned,
Yeah.
he's
I
dead.
mean, he's dead. He was flashed. He had no idea that he was in the line of danger as Loud get to 11.
Feels like Sadak's gotten like 3 aftershock kills so far this game.
Yeah. I mean, he's top fragging for Loud.
Just ridiculous.
You know, I wonder too, as I was watching this, what it was that they used to keep that push back, that safe pop. It was the gravity wall and then the op.
Yep.
Up in heaven. That's what was the initial problem, and that's what really caused Liquid issues in trying to get out.
And just a grab well should not be enough to stop the double duelist dive. I mean, it just shouldn't.
And yeah, I mean, Yumpy did get out. He got past it, but then you had to deal with the showstopper too.
Yep.
For what, 4 or 5 rounds in a row for Loud?
5 at this point.
5 in a row.
And you remember, Team Liquid took the lead because they won the first pistol, or their only pistol this series here in the second half. Won the anti-eco, but since then it's been all Loud all day. And the crazy part too is it's not even how you really expect this comp to play. There's not any crazy trap plays going out. They're just playing reactively. I think at this point, you know, I was thinking a lot how Loud is playing fantastic on Haven. And I was trying to credit them a lot for that, making it very difficult for Team Liquid to get in the game. But here, I think a lot of it falls on their own responsibility, taking so much time here.
Yeah.
When you don't have the same, I mean, there's not as much, I say this a lot, the sustainability of Loud's composition. There's not reusable util outside of the Sky util. Tui's stuff is all going away after he uses it once. Sadak's has a refreshable fault line, but outside of that, you're spending a lot with those flashes.
Yeah.
Let's see how this plays out, though, finally.
What is this setup here? The fault line, and they're going to push in really hard.
Yeah, Tui's has been getting this control every time.
Yeah, get Sadak the orb, have the Rolling Thunder online.
Remember.
Whoa. Aspas and Kawanzin with a lot to deal with mid. Follow, this does not look good.
It's labored, man. It just feels like it's not there right now for Team Liquid. He just walked in without checking anything, right?
Yeah.
That's like, you expect the crosshair placement to be there, at least something, some piece of util, but just dry walking through. That one hurts to see. It's a little painful, I have to say. And again, they've given the tools to Loud to win this round. They've given the breach hold. They're not playing against the lockdown, which could come at the wee hours where they like to hit.
They just deep flashed into A heaven, but it was just a fake, and you just realize there's an op on the other side.
Where's the Trailblazer? Where's something here to deal with the op that they've seen?
I wonder if it was just peeked ahead, because remember, Soulcast was flashing into A heaven for the fake. Tui's is still in a really nice spot here, and they've got this brutal crossfire with Kamaltine not far off. Aspas getting another.
Enemy remaining.
The nade's gonna keep him back. Redgar's left by himself. He's got 70 HP. I mean, this map was close until it wasn't.
Yep.
As a prime gaming flawless gets Loud to series point and puts Liquid one round away from elimination.
Yeah. I don't even think about this as series point. I think about this as elimination point right here. Team Liquid are on the ropes for a team that was highly rated, probably second highest.
Oh, look at that crosshair.
Yeah, it's just nowhere. It's nowhere.
It was in the ground.
I hate to keep bringing attention to things like that, but it's just not there today. And of all days, this is the end of the season right here. This is the round that could determine whether you're going to the offseason disappointed or you're playing more Valorant.
They still have the lockdown from Les. They still have the Rolling Thunder from Sadak.
Covering it.
Questions on how Loud would perform after Tokyo, giving the start to this tournament. And at least for now, they have looked dominant. Aspas seems informed. Sadak is leading from the front. Tui's is the Wonder Boy yet again. Everything coming together. And for Liquid, unfortunately for them, at the worst possible time. What is left in Liquid's playbook? Where do they go from here?
Again, challenge in the B main. This time the op.
I've
In the
got
hands
your
of Aspas. There it is. There's something behind it. This time it was the Seekers. Stays around to drop that nade. He's here by himself. Oh, Tui's has helped. Tui's has helped, but Kalantine's also gotten one.
And they split up the hit again. 35 seconds. They got to get on this side.
Oh, the flash was so good, but nothing falls.
30 seconds left.
Safe healed up, and
30
the clock
seconds.
continues to be an issue. And now everyone's here. Sonic still has the Rolling Thunder. Les still has the ult. The push in from Aspas. A kill is found. There's the Rolling Thunder, and that very well may have secured the season. The series done, and it turns out Sonic's suitcase, it was not for him. They